seemed like. But
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
There was just certain stories that she would say that seemed like they didn't add up.
They didn't add up.
Like, I wasn't really sure that she was over here for the reasons. Like, I thought, didn't she say her dad was like a soft...
Everything she told me was probably true because everything she told me was almost... I don't know where you're going with this, but anyway.
So, like, if I remember right, didn't she claim her dad was a software engineer in the Middle East or something like that?
Not that I recall. Her parents lived in northern England.
I don't know. But
if she told you that, I don't know why, but she didn't tell me that. So
and then there was
straightforward, boring to me. She wasn't a kook by any stretch of that. And I've dated some kooks.
Oh, I have too, man.
She was pretty straightforward white bread. She was, like I said, she wanted to lose her virginity off for the wrong reasons, as far as I'm concerned.
Straightforward white bread.
Very English.
All right, here we are, episode 72. World of Skell-Ghosts. I'm your dungeon master. And in attendance we have Jason, Clark, and Dan. And we just finished fighting these malformed sort of elemental touched goblins. They were either that or they were some type of living rock in the shape of goblins, or they were goblins that had been infected with rock or something. They had a rocky appearance and their skin was rock-like, if not rock in reality. And they were pretty tough for goblins for obvious reasons, but they were eventually defeated. And this fight took place close to the relic, the Constellos Egg. The group has decided for some reason to either show an interest or think about what they could do with this thing. They have been told that it was hidden and that the powers that were searching for it had no idea where it was, but through their adventure, they were then told that now the forces that sought to find this thing were now aware that they knew where it was, and they would probably come and try to take it or whatever. The constellations in the sky have changed, and it has caused great uproar and curiosity by scholars and astronomers and learned folk, prophets and oracles, and as such they were told that a great meeting of several powerful either people or people representing powerful people was going to happen at the monastery, and so they decided to leave. They did not wish to take part in this meeting of the great and powerful people of the continent.
We're throwing out. So still there.
Yeah. As someone who is watching the game, you have to react when the characters do things, and sometimes the dice don't go your way, and it's very
difficult. That's okay.
It's I will say it isn't it isn't always easy to lay breadcrumbs and then have adversarial relationships between characters, or characters that put their own egos ahead of the mission to cause us the quest to derail. And I think what the Dungeon Master has seen is that there are characters that have, for some reason, decided that their personal feelings are more important than solving the mystery. But as a referee, that's just another thing that I have to deal with, and not railroad them into doing the adventure that has been created. So now we are left with them wondering what to do next. And they have went to an isolated part of the continent where this relic has been set or lost or placed. The previous protector has been destroyed by the Acaramans, and so present are Prince Bart, an elven mage thief of the Northern Emerald Kingdom, Tamark, a bounty hunter of the Republic of Saskrophonia, Pykel Hammerhand, a crafting priest of Raven's Bluff, a faraway city in the Northern Realms, and Shadrach, an initiate of the Aslorian Circle, the controlling druidic organization of this continent, at least of the western part of this continent. There may be one to the far, far east, but that is a story for another time.
Do you still use fatigue?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, after having defeated the goblins, and so hopefully you all have some type of current hit point total. The crafting priest, Pykel, he, if I remember correctly, he magically enhanced or created a weapon, and it was able to slay these goblins. He was in rare form and dispatched at least 3 of the 4, maybe all 4. So, the battle is over, and what would Tamark and we'll say Prince B moves away. I don't enjoy playing people's characters when they're not here, because the decisions I make are 100% always met with derision by the players when they come back to the game and say, I would never have done that. I'd be like, I screw the most beautiful princess in the world. I wouldn't have done that. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't you know my character was gay?
Yeah, no, apparently not. So, well, speaking of the devil, there is Bart. So that bridge does not need to be crossed. He can cross it. He can cross it himself. So, Bart, in case you weren't aware, the rock goblins were defeated, and that is where we begin tonight's game. So, and I need to go. I will be right back.
Run. I need to heal myself. I mean, if you can help me heal, I can use it. I'm at half hit point. I got mauled. You got mauled, huh? Yeah, those suckers, they all came after me. So.
Well, the blue lizard's the same lizard we chase. These witches know where we're at.
This would be about their speed. I agree with that. They have power. They have a lot of power of illusion too, so beware.
What can I do about this?
Give me some time today to go meet a colleague, see if we can get some help. Or at least restock on some things I need. Shouldn't take too long.
Giant slayer. Or not stalking. You know, we know you only need it.
What?
I said we need to go get the weenie.
Yeah, something like that.
It's done, man.
No, why don't you have to pop out for a few minutes? I'll come back. It's in game, so no problem.
What does cure moderate wounds do? Do you know? Hang on here. Cure moderate wounds.
It's weird, I've been wrong. You have to roll.
I need to heal myself because I'm gonna shoot up.
Yeah, I
If something
got,
else happens, I'll be in trouble.
yeah, I got hurt decently enough too. So.
I took like 41 points of damage total. So, yeah, that hurt.
Hey,
Napping this or getting ready to make heads out of this? I don't know if you can see it that well.
I can throw a couple of cures on myself, it'll probably boost me back up at least.
I busted that open head gear inside.
It's not too high level spell.
hey, Shad. You remember? Wasn't there a druid named Log?
Oh yes, I had a wrestling match with him. You missed that.
So was he a good druid, a bad druid, or?
He's a druid. Druids are neither good nor bad, and that's all relative.
So he gave me an ointment, a poultice ointment. You know what that would do?
Probably cure damage of some kind. I could examine it and tell you. Shad could. I'm an herbalist. I can make those kind of things if I take the time. But they take time. That's the, I can make lots of neat things, but it takes time. I can make you wonderful poisons for your blowgun, but it would take me a while.
Oh, I can make poisons too. Maybe not the same kind that you can.
I could probably make antidotes for it. If I studied them. I would just reverse poison, something like that. I could, I'd like to make a bunch of healing potions, but it would probably take me a long time. Because I can make good berries, which would be an obvious component. But it probably would require other things, and brewing and la-di-da, which I am. I brew and I'm a herbalist, so I know how to brew things. I could probably make beer. Certainly wine. That's easy. Just grow some grapes and stuff on them. Dang, you got wine. That's not hard to do. Beer's a little bit more complicated.
Put the balls in there.
And then champagne. Of course, any kind of alcohol. I don't know what they have in this world. If they have like corn liquor and stuff like that. Potato vodka. I always wanted to have a little still. I thought that would be neat to use old vegetable garbage and make just absolutely horrible alcohol. Probably mix good with something. Alright, cure moderate wounds. D10 plus 1, that's it. Be better off casting cures blight wounds on my stuff. Maybe cast a whole bunch of them. So what are we gonna do? We stay here and guard this egg?
What?
Seems like they know where the egg is and they're coming for it. It seems like we are compelled to protect it. Chad at least feels compelled to protect it, and that's all I'll say.
I don't know if they were here for the egg.
Because the enemy knows where it is and they're coming for it now. So
Oh,
they
yeah?
can technically show up at any time.
They were just raiding goblins sent by the bitches.
I think the witches want to get the egg. Why not? If anybody controls that egg, they have unstoppable army.
They wouldn't know exactly where it is. They can't see it.
They're witches. They can detect magic, Bart.
Because they can get
I've already been warned. They know where it is.
Oh, they did?
All they have to do is try it. I'm sure it's that simple.
All they did is fire our heads.
Somehow they got the information, and, well, I think Fidesz or somebody like that. No, and remember the Titans read my mind as well. Somewhere along the line, somebody got the brain picked.
Right.
You know, it wasn't me,
Hey, listen.
because I had no idea about this.
And this happened before you showed up, but right before you showed up, basically. So, yeah, our wild island excursion.
Well, then let's make a big dangerous floating disc and haul it off.
The floating disc does not move quickly.
Huh?
You have to push it.
I know that. We
I
look
don't
at it
think
through the
it can
fucking
move.
fans.
I think it moves
fly it
very
off.
slowly. I don't have the spell list in front of me, but I'm pretty
You
sure
can
it
use
doesn't
the
move.
fans key and pull it along.
I mean, we can't teleport it.
Can't afford
I
it.
think the best thing to do would either be to change into a large flying creature and just fly with it, or something like that.
It can't really be that
I
large.
think he can create a huge cloud that we can ride on. I think I can do that. I think I can do that.
Yeah, how much weight?
I
Because
can
they take that
certainly
weight
give it a
for
try. I mean, stupid spell.
Oh, look at rocks every minute, 2 tons. Oh.
We could probably arrange the guard for it if we unfortunately go back and have that conversation with all the rulers and leaders.
I cast identify against if it's any command words I can use, big and smaller or something.
Shad, the last people Shad wants around this egg is those people.
I wonder if Shrink would work on it.
Probably. I mean, if you think you can shrink that big of a thing, because it's not small. It's a
I know
rock.
that. Okay.
Can you shrink a big rock?
Yeah.
I guess so. You shrunk that giant. Well, you can try.
How long
I
is
mean, it work or it's not.
Well, you
If
can't.
we shrink it, that'd be an easy out. We could just carry it around with us. And it'd be constantly moving.
Tell me how
It'd be
to
constantly
take
being
anymore.
targeted.
Yeah.
Either way, we're gonna have to defend this freaking egg.
Either way, we're gonna be targeted.
Either way, we gotta defend the egg.
Alright.
But I like your idea of doing that. I think that's actually the best thing we can do. Besides, if you do that, it'll be even easier to hide it.
Yeah. We can't put it in a bag of holding, or we can put it in a small,
That's another dimension.
I know that, that's what I'm saying. We can't put it in a bag of holding, but we can put it in,
Swallow it.
saddlebags or
Swallow it
something.
and poop it out.
Yeah, that's all we can make it.
If somebody had a fake eye, they could stick it in their eye. I don't know, that might have an effect. That'd probably be a magical thing.
Take the
But I did see a colleague of mine about getting the supply at least as long as
The only thing we can't cover is it probably gives off a lot of magic.
right?
Unless there's some way to cover magic.
I give off a lot of magic. I glow at night, so.
You live in a glowing mansion. Yeah, you make a nice signature on the radar, the magic radar. So let that be. Once we, I mean, are we starting? Are we going?
Yep.
So we, all right. Let's examine these goblins and get a good look at them. Hear what that noise again?
Oh, yeah.
So, Chad will examine the bodies. Actually, I'm going to cast some spells for myself. Because I'm hurt. Nobody's helping. Alright, first of all, I'm going to cast 3 cure moderate wounds on myself. I will also, okay, I'll just do that. I will, then I'm basically, I'm in deep prayer, touching the earth, my head thrown back, my eyes rolled up in my head, trying to draw energy from the earth to heal myself. Shall I roll? Yay, nay?
Yeah, if you want to cast a spell, go for it, man.
Alright. So, D10 plus 1 3 times. So 15 plus 3, 18. I get back 18 points. Now I will cast 3 cure light wounds on myself, going through the same process. And that's just 3d8.
Okay. Also, I can reduce it, down to about 2 inches.
So that's 15 more. I was going to roll that. So how small can you make it?
It doesn't really, this foot increments to less than 1 foot.
But I think that's a good idea to at least try it. You can probably cast an illusion on it to make it look like something else. Even if you can't shrink it, we can make it look like something else.
Okay. Minimum of 10% of the original size. Creature object smaller. Creature or object there's 10% of its original size for every level of the capture. So I can reduce it by 140%.
Alright, hey,
But I can reduce it to
Just turn
nothing.
it into a pebble. You turn it into a little pebble.
This big.
Well, give it a whirl, brother.
Hey, Mark. We'll get there.
That's like garment so we can find it.
hang on. I have a poultice from log. You wouldn't know what that does.
I do know what it does.
Okay. He was gonna figure it out for me,
Yeah, look, I got rid of it, set in the
but
ring.
I was curious for a heads up.
Figure out what
He
it's doing.
remembers what it did. So that,
And I know how to make poultices.
So who's doing what first?
Well, I'm gonna heal myself first, and I'm just down like 10 points right now, so I'll be fine.
And then you move all the stuff off the top of it so I can see it and then do it again.
Okay.
What?
So, Shadrach, do you remember how many rocks that you've dumped on top of this thing?
I'm gonna look it up right now, because I was gonna see how big it said the rocks were. I don't think they're huge, but I think that these probably like bowling ball size or some crap like that. Because there's different castings of the spell. You can cast it like, offensively, or you can cast it to actually create something. Like a little Stonehenge or something. Come on now. The spell is cairn.
While he's looking that up, Michael, did you say something?
I was touching, I was curing minor wounds on Kmart.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
Go ahead, Michael.
Alright, he touches Kmart's arm and as following morning, heal this brave man. Close his wounds and all that jazz.
Kind of brings me the blowgun.
I am gonna pick my blowgun up.
A D10 plus 1.
Alright. Alright, you get 16 points back.
How many times did you cast it?
Twice.
Ah.
You
Okay.
just cured yourself, right, Clark?
What's that?
You cured yourself, right?
No, I was curing. I didn't get hit.
Oh. Oh! Who else got hit?
No, you guys are the ones that got hit.
You didn't heal me now, just now, did you?
No, I just healed Kmart.
Oh, okay. Kmart.
Kmart.
That's what you get for calling me Shag. All right, Kmart.
Okay. So,
The rocks are as big as my head. Is what it says exactly. The individual rocks are generally about as large as the caster's head. I figured I made a pile on top of this thing that just covered it. So how many feet above the ground did it sit?
it was like, I think it was like 8 to 10 foot, something like that.
So basically, it's covered in rocks. We can clear the rocks away easily. It would just take us maybe 10 minutes to clear the rocks away. So, because they're not big, and we can just, hey, we can all remove rocks, and within 10 minutes it'll be uncovered. It doesn't look like it did before. It looks like a pile of rock. So, that being said, shall we take whatever amount of time each say a cop to uncover the thing?
Sure. You set about your task of removing all of the rocks that you've cast upon it.
Or at least enough to remove it so we can cast his spell.
And
Whatever you want.
I would like Shadrach to roll a D12, please.
I rolled a 1.
What the fuck is the matter with you?
Yeah, all right. I would like all of you to make charisma checks, please. And I will call for the number.
It's what, D20?
D20 plus your charisma. So let's start with Tamar.
So that would be on 27.
27. You must
Actually
have
rolled
rolled
good.
pretty,
Yeah, I rolled 19.
pretty good there. 27.
Don't worry, everybody else is gonna fuck it up. So.
27. Hold on. That's a record.
Yeah, that's pretty much almost maxed out. Only better than that is a natural 20 for me.
All right, hold on here. Let's get the paperwork set up. What is it I hear in the background?
Not me.
Charlie Brown.
I'm good, Brad.
Wrong?
I think Brad is doing something that is causing the sound.
God damn it,
Funny. You know, it's a DM.
K-Mark 27, you said?
Mhm.
Okay. Shadrach.
28 teamwork. And I rolled a
Pikel.
15 plus 13.
Pikel.
19.
Oh, okay. Bart.
I went with 20, so that's 33.
You rolled a natural 20?
Natural 20,
Explode. Roll again.
14.
So 47. That's a nice charisma roll there, Bart.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
He's a good boy.
As you all are unpiling rocks,
Damn Bart.
All right, go ahead. Try to get Tom. Down here.
you hear a feminine voice coming from your left, and it says, "Who just... What the fuck? I thought I turned the sound down. I did turn the sound down. How did that come through?"
Yeah, I just took a message.
Force of will.
All right. You hear a feminine voice coming from your left as you're moving the rocks gently downhill this gentle slope. You hear, "You are dangerously close to something that should remain hidden. I don't know who you are." And then the voice shifts to in front of you. "But if you do not leave this place, you will be utterly destroyed."
Are you protecting this? Because if that's the case, we're all for it.
Shad said, I was the one who covered this with the rocks. The reason we are here is to protect it because evil forces seek to take control of it.
You there, elf fop. Why have the lights in the nighttime sky changed?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's because of this thing.
And then the voice moves to your right, still coming from the woods. If you seek to protect this, that means the powers that kept it hidden are gone.
Yes.
Know that the forest protector...
No, I'm just hiding.
Does that mean Kolam is gone?
All day long.
Yes, he fell in battle, protecting the egg.
Or am I trying?
An army of foreigners came and he destroyed them.
Do you?
He was obviously successful because they haven't left the egg yet, but I believe they will return and sooner than later. And I believe that's part of Kolam's fall may have something to do with the constellations changing, the egg. Something is, there's some cycle that's being completed, I believe. But I am only a humble initiate.
You there, dwarven priest. Do your people covet this stone?
Oh, that freaking air feels good.
Clark, you're breaking up. If anyone makes any sound at all from you guys, it immediately blots Clark out. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. Clark, can you say again?
Okay. Well, we had no idea it existed until now, and I'm the only dwarf that knows it exists at the moment, but I don't covet it. Seems like more trouble than it's worth. Hidden or whoever's after it killed, because none of it sounds any good.
Who seeks this?
A death cult?
What's it
Giants?
I think more than one group of people are looking for it. I don't think it's one group alone. I know the name of one of them, or perhaps two of them.
Caesar was the primary. He wants to...
Yeah, I think the death cult is the main one looking for it. The Academians are just doing it for money. They're just looking for it. They're just a mechanism. They're not an active player, so to speak. I think they're
Hold on. Go ahead, Bart.
I think Caesar's part of that cult. He needs it more than anybody. He needs it to leave the place.
I believe that.
The last creature that was close to finding this, we struck a bargain and he agreed to leave it alone. The bargain was that he and Kolam would continue to keep the balance, and as long as the high predator was kept alive and well fed, he would not take this artifact.
I was under the impression that the thing you're talking about was killed along with Kolam. That was the impression I was under. But you know differently?
You there, Elven Lord, you know of what I speak.
I don't think the dragon's alive anymore.
So Kolam is gone.
So is Blackout. Unfortunately.
Initiate, what will nature not stand?
The vacuum. Emptiness.
What speeds to fill the vacuum now?
can't say that I know exactly, but what's rushing to fill the void now would be the forces of evil.
Giants.
Death, corruption.
The death cult.
Is this egg a dragon egg?
I think that was a question.
From what I've been able to gather, and once again the voice shifts to behind you, this was fashioned after a dragon's egg, but was never a living thing.
Well, that's certainly good to know.
The legends around this say that whenever the truce was struck between the dragons and the giants, the taking of the original egg is what started the Millennial War. And as a petty gesture, the dragons offered their enemy this and vowed that the war would only end when the giants relinquished something similar to what they held most dear. That question was never answered.
Would that be do they hold platinum deer?
There are certain giants that do hold the godly metal in high esteem.
We have that. Who would it go to? And they would have to relinquish it.
I know not the entire history of the dealings between giants and dragons, so I don't know who would have the right to claim ownership over the platinums, the what's the word? The replicant egg. I have not given myself to those other causes as I have in protecting this from all who would seek to find it.
So the giants want this to start the war again?
I don't know.
I think it's just safe to say that they want it.
If Onyxius is truly dead, then there would be no war to be had.
So new war.
And Brad, you hear Onyxius, and that is the first time that you've ever heard the true name for that dragon.
What is it? Onyxius? Onyxius?
Onyxious.
Oh, Onyxius. Yeah, okay. Onyxius. That's cool.
Yeah. Or a different dragon.
That's blackout.
A car just pulled up, Dan.
Who stays the king of the dragons after Onyxius happens?
I do not. I only know of one other dragon that remains, and the mother of Aranya does not leave her home whilst the Sword Emperor lives. Huh?
Dad.
Oh, yeah, they're coming down there. Once again, that is my knowledge of Balthazar is minimal at best.
Is Balthazar emperor?
Sorry, say again?
Is that what you said? There's an emperor with dragons, or?
Dad. Go to the door. There's
He's,
something
there's-
outside.
I know, there's somebody going down there right now.
She dragon wouldn't do something until somebody was dead.
Until the Sword Emperor is dead.
Sword Emperor. Center?
You
Who
can,
would that be?
you can see Bart thinking to himself about many lifetimes ago he may or may not have.
I remember Balthazar's name.
He may have been eaten by this dragon. Now the dungeon master has a clear understanding of what this character is inferring, and though Brad may have been present for a lot of things involving these particular characters, I wouldn't get too bogged down in this particular historical reference because it's a long way away, and it, unless someone was to cast a wish or something, there's nothing here to help your current situation. Just don't get, I don't want to distract you, but I didn't want to leave out
Right.
things,
Well,
because there's no way you'd remember that. I mean,
no,
this is from 2005, so
Oh, shit. I don't even have my notes from back then.
but
Okay.
the you all look as a how do I say this? A roach with a woman's head crawls upon the pile of rocks right in front of you. And for those of you that had seen the creature by the fort, the forest protector, you thought it was the forest protector, but it was actually just a creature. It looks vaguely similar.
Except the one we saw didn't have a woman's head.
Correct. And then the creature transforms into this beautiful woman with green blue skin and long green hair, dressed in clothes but covered in green leaves, barefoot, holding a staff made of flowers and reeds, flowers in her hair and flower necklace.
My character bows to her.
Shad will go to his knees, not like dramatically flopping down or anything, but he will lower himself to his knees and say, "Oh, spirit of the forest, may I know your name?"
You may call me Bimate.
D?
No, like B-E-M-A-T-A-E. Bimate.
Spell it one more time.
B-E-M-A-T-A-E.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Lady of the Forest. We only mean to protect this egg as best we can, and we were considering moving it, but I see that you probably don't think that's a good idea.
Well, it's safer with energy.
My friends from inside the world sensed a disturbance, and I asked them to investigate. It is unfortunate that there was no communication between all of you, and when they did not return, I came to investigate. Luckily, they are not gone forever. They will return from whence they came, and if called upon, they will return.
Sorry?
Normally, their presence is enough to scare away anyone who lingered when this stone was next to the path. The gnolls and the other creatures that used the path knew to not interact with the stone, though it might have taken them a few times to be warned before they remembered. There have been many that have passed by here over the years and who may have seen it, but the enchantment caused them to consider it insignificant. There are some with more powerful minds or keen intellect who notice it and unfortunately are beguiled by its very nature. And then there are those...
What?
we pause. Well, go ahead, Brad. I'm going to go make my son his pizza anyway, so that's fine. We can take a little break here. It's fine. My son was all upset because the guy was knocking on the door. He's like, Dad! Dad!
Oh, damn it!
Look at this guy. There's towels in here. You can get one off the fridge or...
What the hell you do? Fucking shake this thing up. Fucking...
Isaiah. What's for dinner? Isaiah. What's for dinner?
Yeah.
Well, at least we encountered a friendly forest guardian so far.
Like, sorry.
So,
Alright.
seems like leaving the egg here is the best idea.
Yeah. This is protected, we know that.
That's the indication I get, and the only other thing I would say to try is like, you know, like you shrink it and put it in your pocket.
Alright, is she gonna be able to protect us from an army?
Huh?
We don't have to protect it, so let's, I say we continue in the vein of at least taking out the death cult, that we can nerf it quite a bit.
So who is the powers that know where this is and is heading for it?
And you made the point, Kmart, that I think too, if an army shows up, they're probably gonna be able to take it.
I mean, it's,
It seems like.
I'm not saying, what the fuck?
And if they have magic people looking for it, they'll find it.
I'm not saying that she's not powerful. I'm just saying that.
Oh, no, I agree, but I don't think she's enough.
See, like, oh, I mean, yeah.
Not to put her down, but I mean, if an army shows up with a bunch of magic users and death cultists, they'll probably be able to take her out.
Bart, can you get some of your people down here?
Might be wrong, I don't do this. I'm the only one to do the thing about outside meetings, that's just because sorry, you know. I'm the only one involved in the outside world.
She looks down at you, Bart, and she says, Onyxius was worried that your people might turn their backs on the world. He didn't know how and he didn't know when. The last time I spoke to him, he said that he was going to call upon some ancient pact between his kind and yours. I never saw him again.
I'm what he's got. I'm doing my best. Soul Lab, king of my people. He doesn't want nothing to do with the outside world. So, I'll do my best to do what I can.
Great and powerful lady of the forest. Are you going to be able to defend us from an army if an army shows up?
No, but
You wouldn't have any way that you could give us something that could call us back to help you if such a thing does happen.
she, at that moment, she stops and she kind of cocks her head. And she says, something is coming.
Oh,
Something large.
Well, shit.
We have two choices. I do not know your all's capabilities. You may be quite powerful, but if you're unsure and you wish to see this protected, we can go to plan B, which is we leave and we take it with us and we make them follow us.
That sounds like a plan.
But the place that I can take it to is not one fit for mortals. It is very dangerous and very beautiful, and in that beautiful realm of, there are things that you will not understand, nor were you meant to understand. The only way I can describe it is that things don't work the same there that they do here. And it is where I am from, and it is where I have a connection.
Is this the correct where Kolam lived?
I'm sorry, you two both spoke at the same time. Who wants to talk? Go ahead, Dan.
Can giants or dragons follow you there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Sounds like a safe place.
Otherwise, they would have.
Sounds like a safe place. Why don't you just take it with you?
Go ahead, Bart.
And leave.
I didn't think you could leave this plane.
I'm sure there's a lot of things that you think that aren't true.
You take it.
And take it and we'll leave. If they can't follow you, it's safe.
I need all of you to make perception checks, please. That's a D30 plus your intelligence. And I will call for numbers. And we'll start with Tamar.
31.
Shadrach.
34.
Michael.
4 on my 6 and 8 on my 10.
That's 28. I'm sorry, that's 18 plus.
Plus 18.
Bart.
36.
Bart.
36.
Okay. Wow. You all hear a thumping.
It sounds like a giant.
Sounds like a giant. You might have heard giants before.
No. Just guessing.
And it sounds like a giant is crashing through the forest, heading straight for you all.
Here, let me change what I said.
Are you going to shrink it, or are we going to carry it?
What you
Can you carry it?
Oh, we're taking it?
So instead of
I
saying,
can't
Hold on. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Brad?
I start casting strength on the egg.
Okay, you're casting a spell.
Yep.
Anybody else have an action? Start with...
I'm gonna,
Sorry, Clark, you cut out again. What?
I'm gonna cast a spell
Okay.
in the direction of where the giant's coming.
All right, what spell?
Soften Earth.
Soften Earth. Okay.
You're here. Cast it before.
Oh, shit, that don't last me at all.
If she can, hey, that's what I'm taking. Hey,
All right. Shadrach, you have an action.
I am casting a spell
And what spell are you casting?
in the direction that the giant is coming from. I am casting plant growth. Plus, there's already 2 of them there. But I'm going to cast plant growth in that direction. Won't be up. And it will take me a full round to do it.
Which version?
I will be creating 20 foot by 20 foot squares. So At my level, that'd be 180 feet. So I will create a 180 feet by 180 feet barrier of plant growth.
Okay. And then, Tamark, you have an action.
I pull out my blowgun, and I put as much of my knockout poison as I possibly can on it.
All right.
And what I said before kind of changes, like, to, I imagine that's what a giant sounds like. Since he's never heard a giant, but
Okay.
it'd be safe to assume that
All right.
we expect a
Okay,
giant.
so, the,
We're gonna have 7 rounds to get this from someplace.
all right, so the first thing that happens is, Bart's spell goes off. You cast reduce on this object. All right. So, basically, just enough of the top of this egg was visible. You cast the spell. The thing reduces as the magical energies affect it. You see all kinds of runes and symbols glow briefly before it shrinks down, and as it reduces, the other stones kind of fall in over the top of it and cover it again.
Right.
The creature that is on top of those stones, you see a set of lace-like wings pop out from her back, and she hovers where she was. Then the next spell to go off would be plant growth. If I remember correctly.
So yeah, there's a line in front of me that's 180 feet wide and it's 180 feet deep.
Well, maybe not. No, it would be Pike's spell that goes off.
Okay, sorry.
Alright, and that's gonna find it.
So you have a range of 10 yards per level and an area of effect of 10 foot square per level.
So, I guess the 80 square feet, so that could be
And you cast it in the direction where you...
basically the wood line, making the wood line big pit, 20 foot thick by not bad. My head.
I thought he froze.
Okay, so it's just an 80-foot square, and you put it where you think the creature's going to come through.
Yeah, that's what we call that.
Okay. This isn't the... Alright, so...
I'm making
Be right back.
I get that plant growth to go, he'll be down to a 20-foot movement rate per turn, and if he's in the middle of it, it'll take him a long time to get through it.
I got another shrink.
Normal people get to a speed of 10, but even a giant will be slowed down to 20. Like I said, it'll take him a while to get through it.
You got 4 lightning bolts?
Well, either you or that flying lady's going to have to dig that rock out, bro.
Yeah, well, we take care of giant first, then we'll worry about the rock. That's gonna be deep.
Unless he overpowers us, then what?
Well, I don't think we're gonna outrun a giant.
No. I was thinking it's something.
But now that it's shrunk, he's not going to expect that.
Yeah, it's gonna hard for him to find it.
Like, yeah, they're not even, they're going to be like, where is it? They're not even going to see it. Did Cobb say how big it was when he shrunk?
Well, I could drink it down to a marble.
That's pretty much what we agreed on, wasn't it? Like a walnut or something.
Yeah.
And you can throw it in your pocket and, with a bunch of other rocks, and nobody would know the better. I'm serious. Yeah, you could just cover it with mud and just stick it in your pocket.
Until somebody casts a spell that detects it.
I think if you cast Detect Magic on Bart, you're going to get... You're going to get a burnt finger.
That was wine when you get a fucking sunburn fucking like me.
You have to be more discerning, and Detect Magic doesn't work that way. It would detect the strongest... Now, if it was the strongest source of magic, then yes, it would probably detect it. But just looking at him, we'd have to figure out what on him was that item.
Yeah.
It glows.
I don't have any issues thinking it's the strongest magical piece that he'll be having on him.
But this item, I'm pretty sure, is a relic.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the strongest item he's going to have on him.
But you see, like I say, the spell doesn't put like a glow around the thing. You feel that emanation of magic from him. And I'm saying he's got so much different stuff on him, you can't tell what is giving that off on him. It's not necessarily the egg, maybe. He's Bart. He's Prince Bart. You've seen him cast lightning bolts.
Right. Okay. So what I'm more worried about is the giant just deciding to grab him and hold him in his hand so he can't do nothing, and then run off.
He's not gonna hold me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think grabbing Bart and even holding his arms is not a guarantee of anything except getting your hand really fucked up.
The giant doesn't know that. The giant just knows tactics that work against humans, or works against humanoids. And one of them
How long are you going to let him carry you around, Bart?
I don't have my close relations no more, so... Guy be on the island. And he grabbed me like a whole other thing.
Well, we'll soon find out.
Yep.
No matter what happens to me, Mark, we're going to find out one way or the other
Shortly.
shortly.
Dragon watch.
Yeah, watch this not be giant. Watch it be the rat.
So watch it be the Rancor. What?
Yeah, something like that. We don't know. It sounds like a big giant too, so it's probably bigger than a hill giant.
Oh, I imagine it's not a hill giant.
And that's the next best thing in Blackout. I'm actually, it's cool.
And all our fighters are gone.
Well, it's funny, and all we got is a blowgun dart guy for fucking fighter. Back and forth.
I mean, I had 2 short swords, but that doesn't...
Nonetheless, the 2 short swords. We had a couple of tanks before you showed up.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's a combination of nothing good. Making a loop.
Both the tanks took off.
The stay range, so I got fucking room to throw my spells.
Okay.
I got good endurance and good hit points, but I got really shitty armor class.
All right. So Since the... Alright, so you said that you were getting out your blowgun and...
Right, dipping the body as much as I can.
Sure.
I mean, I'm figuring it's a giant, a
Sure.
lethal
Well,
dose.
I don't
Normally
want to disappoint you. So, coming through the forest, now here's the thing, because the giant gets a turn, it moves on very slow. So the softened earth is done. So Bart's spell is done. Bimate, it is his turn, or her turn.
What about, oh yeah.
She casts a spell. So as the giant crashes through the forest
Trips on my mouth.
and begins to step into the area where it's been softened earth, Bimate's spell goes off. Just as Tamark is getting ready to fire his blowgun, Bimate's spell goes off. Just as Shadrach's spell is almost finished, Bimate's spell goes off. Everyone within the area of effect of this spell is affected by this spell. There is no saving throw. Unless you have some type of innate ability or magic resistance that can keep a spell from affecting you, you are affected by this spell.
Can I ask what type of spell it is?
Do you have spellcraft?
I have resistance to charm spells. If it's a charm spell, it won't affect me.
Yeah, no,
I'll just say that.
that's not even close.
I have spellcraft.
Okay.
Okay, well, if you were watching her,
Oh,
I would let you roll spellcraft, but everyone,
okay. Well, you,
No, I'm concentrating. I'm casting.
I would say anyone that has gone already might have a chance, if they had spellcraft, to figure something out.
I got a spellcraft.
Okay. You don't even need to roll, Bart. As soon as you see the interdimensional energy start to affect everyone in the area of effect, which is a 50-foot radius from her, you realize it is some type of transportational effect. And as you realize that, and your eyes go wide, everyone else, all they see is a flash of white. Shadrach, this reminds you a little bit of when you melded into stone just for that brief moment, and you're like, what the fuck? And whenever all of you regain your senses, some faster than others, you ain't in Kansas anymore. You gather your bearings. You stand up. Some of you choke down some bile that may be gurgling about in your stomach. Others of you who are more experienced in the portal magic shrug off the effects with minimal effort. And as you look around you, you see a sky which has streaks from one horizon of red, followed by a band of orange, and then yellow, and then blue, green, and then by the time you reach the other opposite
Rainbow sky.
horizon, it is violet. And Bart proclaims it's a rainbow sky, and that he is correct. Unless you are colorblind, you perceive the same thing that he does.
Are we in a rainbow?
The ground is covered. You are in the middle of a lush field full of yellow and pink flowers. The smell of pollen and flowers is strong, almost overpowering. I need all of you to save versus poison. Some of you have built-in resistance, which is already reflected in your saving throw number on your sheet. So I will go around and I will ask for pass or failure. And we will start. Oh, fuck. I left my glasses downstairs. God damn it. Hopefully I got them all over the house, so hopefully there's a pair over here maybe. Two pair over here.
You want to roll under the number or above it?
You want to meet it or beat it? So, first on our list is Tamark. Are you pass or fail?
Pass.
That is a pass. Okay. Next would be Shadrach.
Made it.
That is a
And
pass.
it's 7. I got an 11.
Pikel.
I'm gonna pass. My poison save is 3, so yeah, I'm sniffing the flowers.
And Bart.
20, 20, yeah, I think.
You rolled another natural 20?
Yeah,
You're wasting it, man. You're wasting it.
Amazing.
I know, right?
Okay. This field of yellow and pink flowers goes on as far as the eye can see in every direction. And Bimate is there with you, holding, and I want to give you an exact size only because I feel like it. Okay. So it goes down to and then okay, so the stone that she is holding is about the size of one of the stones that Shad had used. It looks like it's a little less than a foot in diameter, but it is definitely egg-shaped. If one was to measure it, it would be about 9 inches tall and about, well, varying thickness based on the way an egg works, but I think you understand what I mean. And she appears to be holding it with relative ease. And Bart would know that that might be an issue.
Does that thing still weigh the same?
Yes.
Okay, that's scary. Hey, Shaq, you know that flower that we're looking for that kills giants? Are any of these that flower?
I don't think so.
What is it?
I hope.
What is that flower called?
Why is that important to you right now?
If these are the flowers, or we come across that flower, I would like to know so we can get some
You don't need to know.
for when we have to go fight the
That's
giant.
part of my culture, and I think I'm going to keep that to myself, if you don't mind. I know why you want it.
Yeah, to kill the giants that are trying for the stone.
Well, when that time comes, we'll worry about it.
And if you die before then, you foolish tree-hugger.
I'll do as you ask, but I don't believe that, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll cut myself in my shame. But I will identify the flowers, Cobb.
Okay.
If I can. I just do it automatically.
Upon first glance at these things, they are nothing native to your world, and therefore your automatic identify does not work.
Or I just simply think they're alien plants.
Do
Or they're
you
unnatural.
or do you have any ability or spell that can increase your chances of success for this task?
I might even have a spell that lets me identify the plant. We shall see.
I have herbalism. I was wanting to try to identify them.
You can try, sure.
So that is a 36.
I give you the same information. Having
Okay.
not been exposed to this in the past through study and or field experience,
The saving place.
nothing.
The best thing I can do right now, or the most information I can get from these plants, is if I choose to speak to them. I don't think that's necessary. I might not even be able to speak to them. I don't know what they are. So,
How they work.
but I'm pretty sure that these are not the plants you're looking for.
Bimate says, if you are friendly, they may give up their secrets. But it is not for me to force them.
I take out some water and I pour it on the ground.
Okay. You see some of the plants sort of twist and bend a little bit, but then you hear coming from underneath the cover of the flowers, but you don't know what it is that's making that sound.
These are strange flowers to me, so I'm kind of not sure what to do with them.
From underneath there you hear, "I ain't no flower, kid." And Bimate says, "Oh, Draxel, show yourself." And poking out from the flowers flies up a small, 2-foot long, rainbow-colored dragon with these lace-like colorful wings and a long tail, and its scales are bright and almost shifting in colors.
Shoot, eh?
Oh, damn, I've seen giants and dragons today. Holy shit.
And you see the dragon looks at you, and it doesn't speak, but in your mind you hear, "You got any more of that?"
Oh, yes, I do. I pull out some more water. You want it on the ground, or would you like it out of the...
You see it fly over and grab your, what do you have, like a canteen?
wineskin?
Okay. It starts to drink out of it, and then it's like, in your mind you hear, "Oh, you fooled me, that's just water." And it hands you back the wineskin. And then it flies over to Bimate, and she looks at it, and it looks at her, and this goes on for a bit of time. While that is happening, is anyone else doing anything that I need to be aware of?
I assume I lost my spell slot.
Well, I mean, it felt like your spell was completed.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to know. I hope it was. So, I didn't want to just waste it. Because everybody else contributed, I want to at least get it in there.
Okay, and then, so hearing nothing, eventually
Go
ahead, Tamar.
So, great lady of the forest.
She looks at you as if you've interrupted something. And then she says, "Hold on."
Shakes his head.
And then she turns back to you. Yes, bounty hunter.
So, it's my understanding there's a flower that can kill giants. By any chance, would this plant be in this area? Wherever we're at here? Because I heard that it is rare in our world.
Timer was
Well, I'm sure that too much of any plant could kill almost anything. But specifically what you're referring to, I'm not sure. What is it called?
I don't know.
He knows, but he won't tell us.
Who's he? Who are you pointing at?
Shad over there.
I don't remember being told what its name was, except that it was the plant that would slay the giants. I don't remember any specific name.
She says, "Well, if you do remember, and I know of such a thing, I will give you that information. But until then, I guess it will be up to you to remember."
Is there by any chance any plants you know that could put a giant to sleep here?
Well, considering giants are not a part of this realm, I don't know.
I just kind of was guessing, since you said that it could be lethal to those who are not from here, that perhaps you had knowledge on what things would be lethal to what that are here.
Oh, there are many things that are lethal. None match the description of a plant that is specifically lethal to giants that I am aware of. I am but a ambassador of this realm to yours, through agreements between what's the term that you all use for ancient members of the Aslorian Circle and my king and queen. I was sent there.
Okay.
I'm not sure what title or what position Kolam held amongst your people.
I don't know who he was.
Well, apparently some of these people do.
Yes, I met him.
I mean, my character wouldn't know him, right? Even though I traveled through those woods.
I mean, your character would remember Kolam if he saw him.
No, I just didn't know if I'd heard legends about him or something since I traveled.
Do you have any kind of history, non-weapon proficiency?
I'm pretty sure I don't. No.
Well, then you can roll, and if you can get a natural 20, then that explodes, and then you automatically know
that's
something.
all right.
Don't even want to try it, huh?
I mean, it just seems if it's that rare, my character wouldn't.
Well, that's why you'd have to roll a natural 20.
Yeah.
So to me, it makes sense. If you can roll a 20, that means somewhere along the way.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that if it's really like that, then my character would have really had no knowledge of it.
Unless you roll a natural 20.
Even if I did, I don't think he would.
I mean, you can choose to fail. That's all you do.
So, but,
All right. So
What can it hurt?
she says, I think now that we are here and safe, we should go someplace and relax.
sounds like a plan to me.
If you agree, then follow me. And she starts to fly in a directionless universe. As you look up at the sky, you do not see a sun. You do not see like long shadows from something that is a light source. It appears to be light coming from every direction, and not a blasting noonday type heat light, just a nice glow. Yes, Tamar.
So, how do you tell how to go if there's no sun to track through the sky to know where it's going there?
We just think about where we would like to go, and then we go there.
Look at this.
Yes,
Water.
yes, you can get water downstairs. He likes water out of the bathroom. Why?
It must be all the calcium buildup on it.
May I ask what plane of existence we're on?
I'm sorry, what?
May I ask what plane of existence we are on?
Make me a straight charisma check, Bart. Let's see how she responds.
18. Charisma 13.
31. Okay. She looks over her shoulder as she's flying, and I'm assuming you all are following her. And she says, we are in the Fey realm.
Oh,
It is well known here, perhaps not as much in where you are from, that the Fey realm is adjacent to where your kind
Yeah,
And you said 2 sandwiches?
yeah, one sandwich was almost,
Professor?
right,
where your kind travels to when they decide it is time to relinquish their hold on their mortality or immortality.
yeah, I agree with it.
It is interesting, though, that to think that at one time you all had that immortality, but you gave that up to go above and have the sun upon your faces. Who would have known that the pull of your ancestral home would cause you to give up that wonderful gift? But that's just my that's just one of my hobbies, is the philosophical and historical basis for the division between the dark and the light of your race. Something which we don't have here. Tamark has his hand up.
So, yeah, all things have their addictions and compulsions, but, so, I got a question then, since you seem to know so much more than others I've ever come across. So, the plant that we seek was said to be able to kill giants and elves. So does that mean giant and elves are related somewhere?
I would like you to make a straight charisma check, please.
Yeah, that's hard. Oh, damn! I actually rolled an 18, so it's 26.
Okay. Once again, she seems engaged by the questions. And she says, to my knowledge, no, but that would be the area of sages and scholars of a different sort of knowledge. I know nothing about giants other than what I had told you back in the other place.
Okay.
Shadrach, yes?
Shadrach steps forward and says, my lady, the plant he asks about is known as the calamity.
No, it's not.
She kind of looks at Shadrach and then looks over at Pikel as you all are trudging through the flowers. And she raises her eyebrows as if waiting for you two to discuss this new information.
Well, no, I wouldn't know that, but I was just knowing nothing. But go ahead.
I had to find the right notebook. I couldn't find the name, but I thought it was a person's name when I first saw it. Then I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Climate tree is your god tree power thing that sides of the ground.
Well, it's in my notes.
Okay, so anything else as you guys are traveling, or?
So you are immortal, huh? Or
As far as I know,
so is all things here immortal then?
well, when you say the word immortal, what is it that you mean? I know what I mean.
You won't. You can die, but you won't age to death.
Well, I think everything can die.
So immortal would be.
And when I am not here, I am affected by that which you call time.
Does time really exist? Isn't it just an abstract
Yeah.
theory of our minds?
The Bart is correct. Time, as you know it, does not exist here.
I do have an intelligence of 18.
Okay.
So if it seems like I'm talking, maybe
That's fine.
be like, are you smart enough to know?
I have encountered those that have looked a certain way, and then upon seeing them after, they look different.
So,
But that is there. That is not here.
So-
Here you will look as whence you are brought into this place.
so if you spend too much time away from here, you could die from age?
I suppose so. Luckily, when I was, what's the term? When I was supervising the lands around,
Doing your ambassador
relic.
duties?
yes, I brought something with me that kept me tied to here. And if that was to be taken, then I
You would have had to
assume
rob.
I will then become more aligned or in sync or whatever with the place that I am.
So if somebody was to use magic to tune themselves to something from here, they could technically stop aging?
I suppose it's possible. I am not, once again, that's not part of my scholarly pursuits.
I mean, we're traveling, so I hope you don't mind the question. Just things to pass on.
According to the dice rolls, I love the questions. I was really hoping that someone would fuck up and she could be like, ugh,
Shut the
but
fuck up.
that's not the way it works, so.
Yeah, the guy who
That's all right.
should have failed.
We still got,
fucking didn't, damn it.
if Michael wants to ask a question, maybe we can get him to roll shitty. Daryl's not here, so we don't have the automatic fumble guy.
Look, I'm the
No.
most charismatic guy.
Maybe looking for rocks, but yeah.
Yeah, you know, unless you're willing to dig down through the flowers, you ain't seeing no rocks here, dwarf. And as you walk, you just realize that the flowers part ever so slightly to avoid being stepped on. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weirding you out.
So,
Yes, Tamar.
if we were to take a plant from here back to our world, would it be able to live or would it kill it?
You're not taking your place from your K1.
No, I'm just asking questions. I'm curious as to how this thing works.
I assume that anything from here that goes somewhere else would then be subject to the reality of its new existence.
Dad says you don't ever take anything from the realm of the fae. That's a bad idea. Bad idea.
No, you're misunderstanding. I was curious if a plant was taken from here and put, would it die instantly or would it be able to live and grow and then fornicate and spread amongst the other place, or would it?
You could. I don't know.
Bimate looks at Chad, and Chad needs to roll a charisma check, please.
You were gonna force me to do one for you.
Well, your negative attitude has her curiosity piqued, and she's not sure
I
how
got a 30 total.
she's not
15 plus
sure how she feels about it, and then she says, "Now relax there, Shadrach. There's no harm in asking questions."
No, I think they thought I was going to steal something possibly and take it back and try to plant it, which I could understand the concerns about that. I was simply asking it from another viewpoint at trying to determine the relationship of life here to life on our plane.
Well, it's funny you should say that. As I just got through with sort of speaking about it, but I'll reiterate it because I can see how that it wouldn't quite make sense at the time. The prince's race
You got something here.
is ancient,
No, yeah.
and the place where his spirit goes after they choose to relinquish finally their grasp on immortality is adjacent to here. And that is an example of how, though his spirit is immortal, the fact that it wants to go to a place where it will not cease to exist. It doesn't want to unmake itself.
No, I kind of always thought it was they just got bored with living and went to wherever their thing was.
I'm sure there are maybe those that feel that way. All I can say is when things go to other places, their nature is changed. Though they may look and act or feel the same, they aren't. They can't be. If that was true, a entity from a plane or a place that was made of only negative thoughts could exist without help in a place where there are only good thoughts.
No, I understand. So in simpler terms, if you were raised in mountains and you went to a forest, though you yourself are somewhat the same, you would wind up changing because it's a different environment and you have to alter yourself to live in the new place. There are different dangers.
That sounds like a reasonable and she's struggling for the word.
Assertion?
I was thinking a reasonable and equal explanation. Only the gods would know, and even they might not know, because otherwise their true forms would be able to go everywhere, and they can't.
I've never known a god, so I wouldn't know what that's like. Have you known a god?
I've been accused of being one. It was not in my best interest to dissuade those at the time that I was not. But if my ability to appear the same age over a very long period or passage of time on your world would make someone think I was either immortal or a god, then that's for them to decide.
So, impersonating God doesn't anger the gods? I always thought that they would.
I don't know. I don't know what that even means. Impersonating a god.
I wonder if it's just intentionally versus accidental.
I'm sure that the gods don't need
Or it's beneath them and they don't care.
explanations, or don't need to explain. Although I'm sure some would love to take the time. We don't get what you would consider gods here, because they are unable to bend their surroundings to their will.
So they can't come here, or they
Unless
Limited.
they're
are they more like us if they came here?
unless they're willing to send a portion of themselves that is not truly them.
Oh. So that portion could be killed here?
I don't know. That sounds like something you might want to have a discussion with Hezekiah about, but
Are we going to see them?
no, we're just going to
Hang out for
have
a picnic?
some tea and some cupcakes.
No crumpets? Damn it.
Unless there's someone here. God damn. Unless there's someone here that does not like tea and cupcakes, then you can watch me eat. And as if springing into existence for no reason, a very large oak tree, strong, with a very wide trunk and many strong limbs and broad leaves, appears off in the distance. And you all seem to be heading straight for it, as if that is where you were going the whole time. Tamark has his hand up.
I have just a few last questions and I will stop bothering you. So I was injured in a fight prior to you showing up. And on our plane, we get well over the passage of time. So if there is no time here, will I heal by myself? And the next thing is if time isn't here, but time is on our plane, does that mean when we show up again there, it's going to be at the exact moment we left?
No.
Or is it going to be some time in the future or past, or?
Future.
Well, do you have any abilities or magic that allows you to manipulate?
No, I'm just a ranger that hunts
Then
bad people.
you would be subjected to the whims of
Time.
whatever
I just thought
thing
since you
in crossing there
travel
is.
back and forth, I thought you kind of would know how it works.
What would you like to happen?
Don't start that.
Well, I don't want to be old when I go back, but.
It won't be, but it will.
Oh,
Apparently, the Elven Lord here has a basic understanding. I'm not sure if perhaps
Starting working with them.
he has hidden knowledge that he has yet to relay, but perhaps you should be asking him these questions. And
so
I need,
So when we go back, will people be older? I mean, would it be a long time or?
Oh, no. The time passes normal there. It doesn't pass normal here. We ain't moving along faster or slower.
I mean, that's what I was trying to get at. I was just curious if the people we know are going to be dead by the time we go back, or.
depends on who or what they encounter in the meantime.
Oh, so they won't age to death?
No.
Depends on what they are. If they're elves, probably not.
Larger than board.
But in any event, there's no cause for alarm. Even if they did pass on, it's not like you won't see them again.
Okay.
If there's one thing that I was taught before now, it is that no matter where you are, number one, there you go. Number two, nothing truly dies. And number three, even if it does die, it changes into something else.
So like a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Exactly. And we have those here. Well, we seem to be at our rest stop. And she stops and lands in front of the oak tree and she says,
Has the dragon been flying?
yeah,
Okay.
in case it, I didn't, it's just been kind of hanging out and not communicating as far as you all know or can tell. Occasionally like flying ahead and coming back, sniffing each of you for a time.
When it comes over to sniffing, I'm going to try to pet it.
Okay. Make a charisma check with disadvantage, please.
Well, there's natural 1.
Oh, implosion!
16.
Okay, so you go to try to pet it, and in your mind you hear a, "Hey, did I say you could do that?"
You just seem kind of friendly.
I am friendly, but you get permission before you go touching things.
I am sorry.
It's not like I'm an object to just be groped and grabbed.
I do apologize, sir.
I'm a real dragon with real feelings. I want control over me. I want to be able to say who can touch me and who can't. And if you ain't down with that, you can go fuck yourself.
I just keep walking.
You don't think anything back? No? Okay. So you got your head down and he's like,
Well, no, I'm just like, okay, well, I gave you water before and you seem like it. I just thought that kind of met with her friends.
well, okay, so I would like you to roll a charisma check to see if you can hide your disappointment.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to hide it.
Okay then. So then he's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
I just thought we kind of had this friendly vibe going.
Well, we did, and then you went too far.
I did not realize.
What's the deal? Can't a dragon just kind of fly around and be close to his friends without trying to grab him?
I mean, just you kind of were like sniffing me, so I thought that maybe.
I didn't
we're trying
touch
to
you,
get
though.
friendly, so, I mean, I'm
Whatever
sorry.
you smell like, it leaves at least 6 inches away from you.
I didn't realize that.
I know
that
how
was
to
a
fly
bad
next to a
etiquette.
person without touching them.
I did not realize that was bad etiquette on my part. I'm sorry.
Really? So you're just allowed to grab anybody from wherever you come from?
Well, if they come over sniffing by me, kind of.
You just grab them, or whatever it is you were gonna do.
I mean, if I.
I don't know where those fingers have been. When was the last time you washed those hands? I can tell in probably a long time. So you can see, it's not just a matter of bodily autonomy, but it's about cleanliness and hygiene too.
I understand your point.
So, yeah, don't do that. Unless you ask and I say it's okay. So like right now, I'll show you how it works. Hey, you. I'm gonna land on your shoulder. Is that all right?
That's fine.
And he lands on your shoulder. And then in your mind you hear, see, you said yes, and that's all I'm doing.
I'm
There
sorry.
ain't nothing else, touching nothing else, just my claws on your cloak, that's all. I ain't looking for no more.
I should have realized
Wish we could hear all this.
that this is different.
I would like
That's
all
what I
you
expect.
three to make perception checks, please. And we'll start with Shadrach. Up, you're on mute, brother.
It's plus my intelligence, right?
Correct?
Okay, so that's 23 plus 15.
38.
40,
Okay.
42, 43.
Pikel.
Yeah,
I believe it's
38.
What'd you get on your D6?
a 1,
Okay, and then what'd you get on your D10?
a 2,
Okay, so what's 2 plus your intelligence?
20,
All right, that's still not quite good enough. And Bart.
I had a 30.
Oh, a 30, okay. So Shadrach.
All right.
Up. Daryl is asking in chat, what happened to Tamark's dog this time? With a smiley face. I don't know, Daryl.
Did it get transported with us?
Do you want it to be?
Yes.
Okay, then sure.
I mean, it was in our area.
Your dog is right there, just healing. It's well trained. It's not doing anything that it shouldn't be doing.
It pretty much follows behind.
Okay.
So unless if I say different, it just follows behind.
Yeah, that's cool. So Shadrach, you can tell. You look around and you see the little dragon sitting on Tamark's shoulder, and Tamark has a shit-eating grin on his face, as if he had gotten caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and the dragon is kind of looking at him. And just for a brief moment with that roll, you can tell that the dragon has like a...
Dan, you want a beer or anything?
No.
It doesn't look like a blank reptilian face. Just for a second, it looks like it has sort of a little bit of emotion to it, like it's satisfied or something.
Okay.
Just
I mean,
kind of,
obviously a positive thing.
kind of weird. Yeah.
Like I said, Shad is rather in awe of this place, so that's why he's quiet. And also, he knows the Fae can be very tricky, and we're probably gonna, I don't know, I'm like Bart, I have an idea that we could go back, it could be a very long time from now, as we perceive time, or it could be the moment we left.
I'm the same thing from
The Fae are, so, there are things. But as far as eating, I'll keep my mouth shut for now. I'll wait. You'll if follow my example. I'll just say right now, when it comes to sitting down and getting comfortable, follow my example. That's all I have to do.
So Bimate has landed in front of this oak tree, and she says, Carl! Carl! And the tree sort of just imperceptibly just moves just the tiniest bit. And she says, we'd like to come in for a rest. These people are with me. Is that okay? And the tree, once again, one of the branches sort of moves oddly, as if someone is puppeteering a branch from behind it. And then the tree opens, and in a way very similar to the melding into stone, it's kind of an impression or a well forms in the oak tree's trunk, and she proceeds to walk through, and then the little dragon flies off of Tamark and flies through as well. And does everyone go through?
Yeah.
All right. So you go through and you find yourself in an inexplicably larger space than the trunk of this oak tree. It appears to be a place entirely made of wood floors, wood ceiling, and wooden walls, but it's a large, round, either you all have shrunk or the inside of the tree is too large. And there's really no way of telling unless one of you has some type of ability and or spell that can detect extra dimensional spaces or the true seeing or something along those lines.
Man, this tree looks a lot bigger on the inside.
However, what you do notice is that the 9-inch egg that Bimate was carrying now appears to be the regular size that you originally saw the Constellos Egg in its place back wherever you're from. And what you think that means is up to you. And it is now sitting on the floor. Oh, Brad has his hand up. Okay.
Wouldn't the non-passage of time allow that spell to last longer? Here?
Are you
Like indefinitely?
are you asking one of the?
Yeah.
Who are you asking?
I'll ask you to.
She says, I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with what magics you used. It could interact in ways that are unique. I don't know.
I see. I was just curious as to how I got back to full size. If we're not,
Yes, Tamar.
So if you cast magic that goes away over time, here, does it stay forever? Or does it still go away?
I don't even know what your question means. I don't.
So say back on our plane, somebody casts something that is affected for a duration of time. It lasts for a duration of time. If you cast that same spell here, does it stay permanently? Or does it still go away, but it lasts longer?
If I remember correctly, the last time I saw anyone not from here originally attempt to cast spells, the spell didn't work the same way or the way they thought it would go by their reaction. It was made known after that the casting of magic that is not crafted in a way specific to here can be altered or just outright fail or be something completely different than the original intent. To put it bluntly, the things that are here could be, they're hard to be contained or controlled. There is an essence of disorder apparently inherent in everything here.
So, did you have to learn to cast a different form of magic when you cast magic in our plane?
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't cast spells here. The spell that brought us here was just a reverse of the one that sent me here or sent me there.
I thought you were a person of magical power.
I mean, I don't.
Like he's a mage or a spellcaster. I thought that you were likewise.
I'm not sure how I would compare to anyone from there.
Okay.
It took me spending some time with Kolam to figure out how to get back here from there.
Okay.
In other words, the original magics that took me from here, they wouldn't work correctly there.
Right.
And I guess the reverse would be true, that whatever might be attempted here could do any one of a
So
thousand
you would have
things.
to understand the nature of plane in order to know how to alter your
I mean, at least this one, I don't know about other places. I'm gonna guess that since there's a lot of other places there could be a lot of other places where things work either close enough or
because
the
the
same.
energies are different.
Yes.
You'd have to understand the difference and know how to alter your spells in order to get them more correct.
Is that something you're interested in learning?
It
Actually,
is
yeah,
interesting,
that's-
but I don't know if I could do it or not. I mean, I am just
can't really need it back.
a fighter, but yeah, possibly at some point. It is interesting.
So Bart, you're talking to Shadrach. Go ahead if you want.
Yeah, Phil Shannon said we need to get back here pretty soon. We don't have much time to spend here or nothing.
Shad says, I'm not sure about this place. I think the longer we stay here, the worse it's going to be. I don't think we even need to be here anymore. We're not even needed here. If this thing is protected now, then there's not much else we can do besides sit around, and I personally will not eat any Fey food.
We need to go and take care of the giant situation at home.
At that, she says, "Oh, where are my manners?" And she looks off in the distance, and you all notice like a small mouse hole in the floor at the wall to your right, and you see something start to come out of it, and at first you think it's a snake, but then you see that it is actually a anthropomorphic mouse in a like a servant's uniform, that as it exits from the hole in the wall, it grows to be medium size, and upon its hand is a tray with cups and bowls. And there's kind of a weird, like a ring sound as it grows and transforms into regular size. And it walks over and says, "I see we have some thirsty travelers. Would any of you care for fresh mash?" And he's holding the serving platter out in front of him towards all of you, and Bimate says, "Oh, thank you, Grimace." And she grabs one, and then the pseudo dragon, the dragon kind of flies by and, like a hummingbird, flies above it and dips its tongue down into a and these are they're like coffee mugs, but they look like they're made of crystal, and it's like dipping its tongue into it. And Tamar, you grab one?
I'm going to grab one, but I also say, however, I've been speaking with the dragon. So is this what you were looking for earlier?
In your mind, you hear, almost. This is weak sauce.
So you prefer wine or beer or just hard liquor?
I prefer wine. Wine that's been aged. And when I say aged, I mean timeless. This stuff here, it's just not the same. But it'll do.
Where do you get such wine from?
I don't know, I just ask. Does anyone else partake of the drink? No?
Yep. Yep, try to be,
Pikel does?
yeah, try to imitate politeness with a clumsy finger sticking out. And
Okay. So Bimate notices Bard and Shadrach do not partake, and you guys, you get the feeling like she's disappointed. And she says, "Please, won't you join us?"
I'd rather get back home, not to be rude.
I don't partake of such drink. And
What?
he's right, we must go back.
What drink do you prefer?
I'm not thirsty right now.
Yes, Tamar.
So, I'm wanting to try to use my etiquette based on the interaction I've had so far to determine what the proper way of going about this is.
Okay.
I can
You can try, sure.
15.
15 total?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
I
this
know
doesn't
there's
seem to
like-
be anything too unusual, but if there's a specific thing you should be doing, I guess you're just not familiar with it. So, Bart and Shadrach, I would like you to both make charisma checks, please.
roll for me, Cobb.
Oh, no.
Bart rolled an 18.
What kind of bullshit is that? You fucking roll for me. It's a 1, a fucking 2, 3, fucking 5.
All right. Shadrach, what'd you get?
I rolled 13, so I got a 28.
All right. So, Pikel, you partake, and you don't know what you were expecting to taste, but what you do taste, it tastes exactly like your favorite drink back at home in Ravensbluff. It's as if you had just found a good vein in the mine and you were having a celebratory drink with your family members, and you have very good feelings about what you've just done and how much wealth it might provide if everything goes according to plan. It's a drink of anticipation and a drink of possibilities, and you feel good. And if you were missing any hit points, you would have been healed. But I think you said you were not missing any. So you just get a good feeling in your gut, and you feel very good about everything that's happening right now. So
Same thing.
when you drink, yes, you think about it tastes just like after having brought in a fugitive, and you're just walking out of the jailhouse with a chunk of change and a reward.
It would be he's not so much for the money just cover costs for living and stuff. He's more about the justice of bringing in the bad guy alive so that he can be properly judged. So if he is innocent, that hopefully he can
Well,
escape his charges.
the drink that you just had, it tastes like justice.
Okay.
And you feel very good about what's going on right now.
I'm glad I came here. This place is awesome. I mean, I like talking to you guys. Gee, if only I could come back here and visit sometime.
I'm sure that if everything goes as well as the beginning, then the middle and who knows where else might be just as good. And she takes a long drink and then sets it back down on Grimace's tray. Yes, Shadrach.
But yeah, hit points back.
Oh,
Shadrach
yeah.
said,
How much you missing?
8.
Oh, yeah, you're up to full. You get that warm feeling in your belly. Go ahead, Shadrach.
Shadrach says, Lady Dimate, we must leave. We have to go back. And I mean that with utmost respect. Thank you for your hospitality and saving us. And I'm glad that we could cooperate.
What is so important that you would be willing to leave during a moment of well-deserved rest and comfort?
It's my world. This is not my world.
And it will be your world whenever.
I'm feeling detached from my world right now. I would rather get back.
This place is strange to me. I am not comfortable here.
If you wish to return, that can certainly be arranged. However, we will have to go see if we can create for you a way that you can return the same way I went there.
Can you teleport, Bart?
I don't believe it will work the same as the spirits. It really don't.
All right. He said the spells don't work the same here.
Yes, Tamar.
You wouldn't have anything that would be able to help us on our journey, would you? On our task at hand and help us restore
What is your task at hand?
I guess it's to stop the evil of the giants and the death cult.
Trying to go deeper now.
Well, is the so your task requires you to return without the egg?
They said if it's safe here, I assume then it's being left here then, where they can't
We need to stop
get
this
to it, but
Let me hear everything else.
I'm guessing they're gonna still try to figure out a way to come here. So we should still try to stop them so that if they do figure it out, they can't come here to bother you.
Well, you are asking questions that I do not have the answers to.
I mean,
There may be things here that you may have, or there may be things here that you may not. To get those questions answered, you would need to see someone of more importance than me. If you would like, I can arrange a meeting with the king and queen, and perhaps they would be better prepared to answer these questions for you.
and would they also be the ones who would be able to send us back?
Well, they certainly sent me.
So, seems like our direction should be headed there then.
Yes, Shadrach.
Chad asks, can the egg only stay here temporarily?
Well, unless you are the owner of this, I am not a thief,
No,
so
I wasn't implying that.
it will have to be returned to whoever owns it, or back to where it needs to be safe from potential ruin.
Then let me ask, how soon does it have to be returned?
That's not up to me.
All bad is an alternate reality that is here, is not where it's supposed to be.
Yes, Tamar.
Well, if we stop the death call in the giants, then I guess it would be safe to be returned then. So could you hold on to it till then?
I don't know when then is.
I mean, yes, it's a vague. I guess it would be a vague point in the future on our plane. But I would hope it wouldn't be more than a few months to a year.
Probably been here a few months.
Those terms do have no meaning where you are.
So on our plane it would take.
It could be here 2 years right now.
That, I understand how yours works, but you are here now and those terms do not apply. I think that you are,
The longer we stay here, the longer time passes on our plane, we need to go.
I guess then we need to go to see the king and queen then. According to them, they want to see them urgent.
As soon as possible would be preferable.
I do enjoy talking in your hospitality, but I guess their patience is not as good as mine.
well then, I would, if you are making a request of me to take you to the king and queen, then I ask one simple thing in return, and that is have a drink with me now. If you are unable to bring yourself to show trust, which is not any kind of thing tied to time here, then we cannot continue.
Shad prays quietly to himself while my spell protect me. And he'll look at Bart and shrug his shoulders.
So Bart, you reach up onto the serving tray and grab a crystal mug, and just for a little word flavor action here, tell me in what frame of mind and display do you take the drink? Do you, for instance, on one extreme you would chug it super fast and then throw the mug on the ground and try to break it, versus the other extreme is you daintily grasp the handle, extending your pinky like Pikel did and drinking it like Betty Boop's teacup. So or whatever. I'm just I'm trying to get a mental picture of that.
I think etiquette.
You mean etiquette from where you're from?
Right.
Okay. So you grab the crystal and
Take a small sip of it.
okay. What about you, Shadrach?
Is it like you think it's like a bowl, basically?
It looks like a crystal coffee mug.
Oh, okay. Well, I will take the mug. I will not gulp it. I will not sip it, but I will drink it slowly until I empty it. I'll drink it all in one drink, but not gulping furiously.
Okay.
Might as well.
Bart, you take a sip of this, and immediately it brings to mind the stash of 2,000-year-old elven wine made by the masters from before the first age that was given to you to be shared as your first drink as husband and wife with Shalere. And it is a sweet and melodious flavor that, as if Pop Rocks was mixed with a wine cooler with a smoothness of some gin and rum on top of it. But in a indescribable fantasy style of brewing that only the elves of yore could have made and stored and aged in casks imbued with the essence of the elven tree. And you feel good about your time here. And Shadrach, you take a slow, steady drink, and you think back to your initiation ceremony, about having first been, having successfully called upon the man of the Green Man and Biori and Obed High, or whatever name that the power of Skell chooses to use at that particular moment. And the feeling of being connected to this group and of having a sense of purpose and feeling like you have a place to belong to, and knowing that the time and the blood and the sweat and the tears that you put into this has been proven to be worth it. Your reward is your connection, a deeper connection that goes to the very essence of the world. And you feel good about what you've done. And you feel good being here now. And you see Bimate smile at the both of you. And Shadrach has his hand up.
Do I heal my remaining 11 points that I've done?
Yes, you do.
Right on. Okay. Shad was afraid that something was going to be.
Just to let you in, just to let you in behind the curtain of this, what basically happens is you were given potions. You voluntarily all failed your saving throws by imbibing the liquid, and you gained the benefits from the potions. If for some reason that matters.
I was afraid it was going to charm us.
That is not in the equation this time.
Next time, maybe.
Maybe next time.
I mean, fey or fey, we're tricky.
That's your preconceived notion there, Shadrach.
Yes, it is.
Jason.
I mean, if I was them, I would have tried to...
Remember, the Dungeon Master is playing with people who have played for as long as he has, and therefore the Dungeon Master must reskin and change all of the original concepts to create
Oh, I know that. I know that can be good or bad.
surprises for his
Yeah,
players.
and the fairies are mischievous, and if you mistreat them, they mistreat you. So,
We haven't mistreated anyone or anything.
you know, that's true. Like I said, he's been packaged this whole time.
So, all of you have partaken. Grimace does a low bow, never letting the tray sway in his little mouse hand before he backs away, and as if in reverse, as he backs in towards the hole, he shrinks very quickly with a whooshing sound. Oh, and Brad's gone.
With a whooshing sound.
Apparently.
Yeah, I didn't want you to get the wrong impression about the fairies. I mean, like I said, they can be good or bad. But it just seems that being deviant is their first line of business.
And Grimace is gone. And all you hear is a squeak coming from the hole.
Brad, no.
Yes, it says Brad. I assume it sounded like maybe he was getting a phone call or something and probably ran out of juice, I would guess. But I don't know.
I mean, did Chance feel uncomfortable here before the drink? Did he feel kind of weird?
Other than what I described, if that gave you a weird feeling, then that's good.
Yeah.
But
not knowing what the plants were was kind of a weird.
I would.
Yeah, there's no stuff in this guy.
I can't say that you felt anything that you would have had to make a saving throw against.
Nothing repulsive though, right?
That would be up to your interpretation, but that was not the way I was describing it.
He's a little disturbed because he can't identify the plants. That's what makes him, and he doesn't feel the connection with Skell, so that also makes him a little bit jittery. He realizes it's a nice place, but not for him.
All right, so then Bimate says, very well then, if you have any certain way you would like to appear before we arrive in court, I would suggest that you take care of that now. I would also suggest that you understand that though being yourself is the utmost sign of respect to those in court, there still needs to be a way for ideas to be presented in a way that all can understand. So, though difference and uniqueness is appreciated, there will need to be some decorum, a procedure, if you will, when you present yourself. And what that means is don't speak until you are asked to speak, and then say when you are finished, because the king and queen love to listen, and they will not interrupt or ask questions until you say you are finished. Other than that, pay attention. So, do any of you do anything before you head off? Shadrach is up first.
Well, Shadrach is going to make himself look as he'll cast cleanse on himself to make sure he's perfectly clean, and he's going to represent
Is he?
and represent the circle as proud.
No. Have fun screwing yourself.
Hold on.
This is gonna go badly for you.
Okay.
I have a feeling you're gonna cast a pile of dog shit all over yourself.
What level is that spell?
First,
This is gonna go
Okay.
like Stinking Cloud in the last campaign.
That could be beneficial.
Roll a d20, please.
Oh dear.
You remember when I tried to cast Purify and I screwed it up and it freaking caused the body to just bloat really
11.
bad.
11. Okay.
I'm covered in filth.
Okay. You cast your spell, and what happens?
I look back to clean. I hope.
Okay. Does do you just kind of poof and you change, or is there like any sort of magical effect that happens that causes you to, like some kind of telltale sign that there's a spell that
I
went
rub
off?
my hands all over myself. I'd be basically in the air and rub my hands all around myself. And as I do so, my clothes and my body all become clean.
Oh, nice. I can dig that. That's cool. Well, your spell works perfectly.
Phew!
The only thing I can tell you is you felt a twinge, and that's the only thing I'll say. So what that means is you felt a twinge, and you can make of that whatever you want.
Was it painful?
No.
Okay.
It's like if, you know how I used to flip people's noses?
Okay, like a.
It was
yeah,
like
okay.
it was like that.
All right. Well, I think I can understand.
All right.
But
Anyone else?
I have been calling on Mother Skell the whole time I've been here. I've been praying. So.
Tamar, you have your hand up.
So, is there a place that we can clean up?
Right here.
I can't do anything like he did, so.
What is it you require?
I'm just wanting to look presentable to the king and queen. So I've been tracking around for weeks with no shower, dirty clothes. I'm sure a sign of cleanliness is more respectful.
Initiate, can you do the same to him?
Let me check to see if it's just me or somebody else. I'm pretty sure I can get more than one person. I might even be able to cleanse enough. I wouldn't do it like I would only do it to myself first without. Let's see here, the caster.
Okay.
So I can't do it to other people. Like I said, it was a personal spell as I waved my hands over myself. Yeah.
She says, but have you tried that on someone else?
It is not how I learned the spell.
Would you like that to work on someone else?
It's up to them. I won't make that decision for them. But if you can tell me that it will be safe, then I will do so.
She starts to laugh. I can tell that you felt something when you cast that spell just now.
What I felt, I'm not so worried about the pain, but as what caused it.
Well, you would probably feel something similar if you cast that upon someone else.
I do have my concerns.
Maybe a little more intense.
I'd rather not, Tamar. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't think it's a good
sure.
idea.
There's our friendship. Just goes to shit as soon as you need to do something.
I don't think it's a good idea.
She laughed.
He's laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
But I'm in a sarcastic. so it's obvious, so Shag doesn't take it the wrong way.
Okay. Okay, anybody else do anything?
Back will bring his beard in ceremonial out before.
I don't know what you just said. It sounded like you said you're gonna pray to your ceremonial elf and stick an egg. I don't know what you said.
Like, you know, formal dwarven beard braid.
So you're gonna hand braid your beard?
Yeah, with the big one. Braided mustache and
Okay,
put his little bones in it and
not a problem. Anybody else?
I'll wipe down my armor and I pull out my crown. The first crown. Yes.
So
What does that look like?
It's just like a circlet.
So not like a Burger King crown, but more like
It's just like a band of metal with my grandfather crown.
yeah. Okay, cool.
I will clean up.
So that's the first time you guys have seen the Crown Prince of the Emerald Kingdom.
With this crap.
Put on a jam.
Yeah, and that crown looks like it could be worth a lot of money if it was ever appraised and or used in some other fashion besides as something to wear. And of
Like
course,
if it was broke down, it'd be worth a lot of money.
all right. So Bimate says, very good.
So I try to clean up. the
Sure. She says, Grimace, can you bring us a bowl of water and a towel, please? And once again, you see the mouse kind of appear at the hole before it comes back up to medium size, and this time he's got a bowl of water and a towel draped over his arm, and he walks over to you and just kind of holds them there,
Okay.
and you use them to clean up.
And I'm going to take my armor off and put it in my pack, and I put the best that I can understand it, it looks more like a ghillie suit. It's like a camouflage suit. It comes with my kit. So it's basically leaves and stuff sewn into it so that I blend in.
Okay.
And I imagine it's kind of stretchy and has like a hood to it. So I'm figuring they're more like woodsy people, so this will be more impressive than
Chipmunk.
All right. So everyone has attempted in their own ways to make themselves, in their opinion, more presentable. And as Grimace goes back into the hole with the bowl and the towel, Bimate looks at all of you and says, well, you all clean up nicely. Nice, nice crown. And sort of looks at the prince with either admiration or lust. You're not sure. And then she says, okay then, let's go. And she turns around and says, we thank you, Carl. You have once again shown us the meaning of hospitality. And as always, Grimace, we are grateful to him as well. And the indention in the inside of the tree forms, and she and the dragon move on through. Tamark has his hand up.
So I go, thank you, Grimace, as well. And I get down on my knees and I put my head on my forehead on the floor and I go, thank you as well for your hospitality, Carl. I appreciate what you've done. And then I get up and head out the door.
All right. Make me a charisma check, please.
13.
13. I wanted Carl to give you a boon for being nice, but apparently the stoicism of the ancient wise oak tree was...
If you give me any of these coins like you do everybody else.
Yeah, no, I was trying, but your dice betrayed you.
I could re-roll that then.
All right, so...
You have no shame, Tamark. You have absolutely no shame at all.
You all leave the confines, such as they are, of Carl the Wise.
Shag, you do realize
And you're back outside amongst the flower field.
that I roam and live in the woods in solitude most of the time. I am probably as close to a forest-loving druid or elf that a human could be.
In everyone's mind, you hear the laughter of the dragon. And he sounds like Salacious Crumb. Alright, and then you all set off on apparently following Bimate towards the king and queen of the Sealy Court of the Fey Realm. And unless someone has anything they want to do before then, that would be a good place to call tonight. So, any final thoughts from any of the players?
No, I want something, so it sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I
I
think.
do have one question.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I mean, if you can answer it, if I know, was I right about calamitry? Isn't that the plant that kills the sun?
Shut it off! Oh, we're gonna hide. Huh? Sam,
No.
Damn.
I
I have a
got
bunch of notes last time, and I don't remember taking down a name for the plant, so I'm going to have to think on that and use my herbalism or something.
I'll give you this one for free though. Calamitry was the name of the tree back at Drudclerk that was in the ring there.
Oh, yes, I
But
remember now.
also,
I remember now.
No,
that is where Kolam got his name, for calamitry.
See, now, yes, I remember now, but I don't have anything written down about the plant. So I'm not sure that I actually ever heard the plant having a name.
Well, I can tell you, I did say it. So
Damn.
if a reasonable opportunity shows up for it to be renamed or whatever, then we'll see. Or if you find your notes, that'd be great.
Like I say, I've got a whole page full of notes from my visit to the Druids, and there's nothing on here about the name of that plant.
You had one job to do.
And Clark with the buzzer beater. All right, guys.
That's why he went there to begin with.
Thank you. Love you very much, and we'll see you next week.
All right, love y'all. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
And thank you, Internet, for watching. None of you. We appreciate it. And we'll catch you. This will be up on YouTube on Friday, and we'll see you next week unless something bad happens. All right? All right.